Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
The outside trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hey, stay 53, 55. Down.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. Now they try the right side here. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Watch him now, Barney.
A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a handoff looking right. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here we go now. Green.
On 3rd down, Rosen. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Todd Davis. In there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep for the Broncos is Isaiah McKenzie. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Chandler Jones in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now it's Peterson. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Leopard! Leopard! 51, Mike! Mike 51! Come on, let's go!
From the gun, it's Rosen. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! Hot!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And that is incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this 1st quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, Everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up the first down?
He's got a man, complete. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
To throw on 2nd down is Keenan. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. So they say we'll let that completed pass stand, and we'll bring up 3rd down instead as they decline it.
So they're comfortable with the yardage. The big thing to them is what you pointed out, getting it to 3rd down and making a play there.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? A shotgun snap for Keenan. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Toss. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Green, 39.
Now Rosen looking to throw. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19. 3:19.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And the Broncos get there and take him down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From midfield now, here's Rosen. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. And open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Keenum. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, but they face a second and long to start things out. Here's Rosen. Screenplay, Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Here's Rosen to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So the Broncos coming out now. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now first and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now they try the right side here. Oh, able to avoid him. There he goes, right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Rosen on first down. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Cardinals on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Now let's go.
And now it's Rosen looking. It's caught. Nelson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch there. Good for 10 yards and a first down.
No. Check. Patriot. Here we go now.
Now a play fake here on first down. Airing this one out for, and that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. So with a big gainer anyways, he'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down to the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5.
Watch him now, Barney. Set.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go.
He's going to get it running right. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. Dawson tacks on the point after, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Freeman takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Keenum now to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Cardinals. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue Niners.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's the rookie from Fordham. It's Chase Edmonds. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Rosen will throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to maneuver. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Keenan. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
Well, a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
The Broncos on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Keenum. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case,
that is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. And an alley to run. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now the pitch to Freeman. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
22. 52. Take 2.
On 3rd down, that's Lindsey. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. More from the desert after this. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Rosen. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Von Miller. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Hey. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Black 99 Philly, here we go. Right there, 54, right there, 54.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. So that one will be accepted. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Keenum. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. McManus's point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go now.
On first down, it's Rosen. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Throwing now, Rosen on first down. Open man is Kirk, complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Rosen. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson, as the first half is winding down. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer. Dawson able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is down to 2. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. On the return, it's McKenzie. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. J.J. Nelson now to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Hey, now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. And that's off the mark, incomplete. The All-Pro Von Miller there defensively.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
3-19.
And the blitz does come. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
For a rookie first rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
On first down, Keenum. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. Still searching for that first interception in this game and down on the scoreboard. Remember, they won last week, and a big reason why they had 3 picks.
And one characteristic I've always noticed about great defenses is that they want to be the ones that have a huge impact on the game and actually lead their teams to victory. So you just noted 3 interceptions last week and they won. And a little extra pressure that they're feeling right now because they haven't gotten those interceptions in this game and they're losing.
Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Broncos on third down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is third down and 12. Shotgun snap for Keenum. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, take 53, 55. 53.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now with a play clock winding down, Vance Joseph says, let's talk this over. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. From the gun, it's Keenum. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Keenum now just 6 of 15 through the air. Not good, but 1st and 10 here. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Dayon Buchanan not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. They'll pick up of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, here's Keenum. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Benson Mayowa in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. On the return is Peterson. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, You've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That's going to be caught by Kurt. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Over. Now let's go.
On 3rd and 1, Rosen, and that is incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it, trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Here's Andy Lee now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And Denver getting set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Had a decent move, but brought down quickly just outside of the 5-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and it's a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hamilton, and he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Keenum now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Keenum. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is make sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Rosen again on 2nd and 10. Quick hitch, complete. It's Nelson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. It's caught, Nelson. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They want to go to the air again with Rosen. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they finally get him down as he takes it up to the 44. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 41 yards. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. And Gresham has it left side. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
All right, here we go.
Now it's Rosen. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. The 20, 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too. Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock making him do it that way, didn't it?
Here's Rosen. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is going to be 3rd and 13. To throw is Rosen, and that is incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Go, 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 go. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in. Here's Andy Lee now, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Freeman again, a first down carry. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down, couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been stymied left and right, converted only 1 time. This is 3rd and 9. Now they try the right side here. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So out now come the Cardinals. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive. Poor punter. Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Green 39.
2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is Pinyard. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And they'll go on the ground. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the four fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the four fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space. And
a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On third down, that's Freeman. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And McManus able to put it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the fourth.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 right at the 30.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And McManus able to put it through. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal. There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
The first throw for the backup Griffin. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Griffin. Screenplay. Johnson. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
His throw incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now it's Griffin. And able to find Kirk complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. From the red zone now, here's Griffin on 1st down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Larry Fitzgerald, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals cut into that lead. Dawson tacks on the point after as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So with just over a minute to play, this becomes a make-or-break onside kick. And the Broncos are going to get the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Denver, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Kansas City next week. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they drop just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.